Directed writing, short form DW. The essay here is 35 marks. Directed writing consists of 5 types of essays, but only one will come out each year. It can be speech, letter writing formal, letter writing informal, report, or article. Marks for DW are in 3 sections: format 3 marks, content 12 marks, language 20 marks, altogether a total of 35 marks. Are given for format. Format consists of F1, F2, and F3. Okay, in article, title F1, purpose of the article or what is the article about F2, written by F3. In report writing, to who F1, title or purpose of the report F2, from F3. As for speech, greetings F1, that means you greet whoever is in the audience. Good morning or good afternoon to Mr. Ali, who is the principal of this school. Okay. Purpose of the speech or the topic of the speech F2, and remember to thank the audience at the end of your speech. It will be F3. In letter writing, address F1, address to the person F2, sign off with a name F3. It is very important. Do not just sign without showing the name, especially if it is a formal letter. Marks for content. C is 12 marks. Each point carries 1 mark. Normally, 12 points will be given, or 12 content points will be given, and so you will have 12 marks. Sometimes they don't have 12 content points. They may give you 6, they may give you 8 or 10. So how do you achieve the 12 marks? Well, we will go into this in greater detail in my next slide. Look at question 1. You may find that many of your friends are under a lot of pressure. They spend most of their day studying and appear to suffer from stress. Write an article for your school newsletter on how to cope with stress. If you read through these rubrics, you will find that you will have 12 content points. So you will just have to write all the 12 content points and elaborate it a bit more. Okay? Yes. Question number 2. You are unhappy with the poor condition and services of your school library. Write a report to your principal. You must use the notes given below. Well, if you read through, there are only 6 content points. That means 6 marks. So how are you to get the other 6 marks to make it all together 12 marks? Well, there are 3 methods to achieve the 12 marks. Method number 1, add your own points. That means after writing the 6 points, the other 6 points you have to come out on your own. Example, number 7, rubbish everywhere. 8, books are not arranged properly. 9, no library teacher around. 10, most of the time library is closed. 11, all magazines. 12, students eating inside. So this method is you add your own points. Method number 2, elaborate each point in greater detail. That means you don't create your own points, but you elaborate on each given content point here. Example, C1, rude librarians. The librarians are rude. They do not have manners. Here you are elaborating the point C1. Now, how are you going to get extra points or extra marks? You elaborate it further, you elaborate it in greater detail. They will shout at us while telling us that the library is closing. If anyone delays, they will shout even louder until the person is embarrassed. Can you now understand? The same point elaborated and given greater detail. So you do it for all the 6 content points. Number 3 is a mixed method. First, you elaborate on the given content points. You can even add greater detail. And then you add another point, or maybe you have more points to add. You add in your own. So this is a mixed method. You can use both methods to achieve your 12 marks. Let's take a look for marks for language, which is 20 marks. It is a very important section of your essay. Band B, 16 to 18 marks. The language is accurate. Occasional minor errors or first draft slips. Here, we also have the candidate making occasional minor errors or first draft slips. Now, what is the difference between Band A and Band B? Let's read further. Sentence shows variation in length and type, and there are complex sentences. Vocabulary is wide enough. Spelling is nearly always accurate. Can you see the difference? In Band A, hardly any errors. But in Band B, we start to see more errors, more carelessness perhaps, or the candidate is not too sure of the vocabulary or perhaps the spelling, so he will make mistakes. So be very careful with your language marks. If you are not certain, do not use any of it. Band C, 13 to 15 marks. The language is largely accurate. That means now we have more errors. Simple structures are used without errors. The candidate plays safe. Vocabulary is adequate, not ambitious vocabulary. Sentences, however, will show some variety, and spelling is generally accurate. On the whole, Band C is quite a monotonous piece of work. Ten to 12 marks. The language is sufficiently accurate, patches of clarity in writing, simple vocabulary or structures, simple words are spelled correctly. Now in Band D, you will see a lot of mistakes, but there will be occasional patches of clarity, which means no errors in that patch. And when you find this kind of writing, it is quite certain that this essay comes under Band D. The key word here is patches of clarity. Band E, 7 to 9 marks. Meaning is never in doubt, no blurring in meaning. Some simple structures accurate, vocabulary is limited, simple words spelled correctly. What do I mean by meaning is never in doubt or no blurring? It means that after reading the whole essay, you are very certain you know what the candidate is writing about. There's no blurring in his meaning. You know exactly what he meant. So this essay comes under Band E. Band U1, 4 to 6 marks. Meaning is fairly clear, has blurring, incidence of error is high and serious, frequent spelling errors too. Here, you have to read through the whole essay, but you have some doubts of what the candidate is writing about in certain parts or maybe in the whole part of the essay. But you can still get the meaning of the candidate's writing. So this comes under Band U1. Band U2, 2 to 3 marks. This piece of essay has lots and lots of errors. You have to read through it slowly and you try to make some sense out of it. When you're able to make some sense out of it, you award Band U2 2 or 3 marks. Here we have multiple word errors. That means the entire sentence will be full of errors and you sort of have to try to understand what the candidate is writing about. In Band U2 essays, the scripts are short. It may not even reach 200 words. It could be just 100 or 150 words, half a page. So be aware of Band U2 essays. Band U3, 0 to 1 mark. Entirely impossible to read means entirely impossible to understand what the candidate is writing about. Writing makes no sense. However, 1 mark is given if you can find a single sentence or a single word that you understand, or the candidate has copied down the entire question into his test paper. 0 mark is given when the essay is written in another language. No marks will be given at all. Straight away, it is a 0. And we have come to the end of directed writing. I hope you will have a clearer picture in how to mark a DW essay. Thank you and bye.